Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing game.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. Today is Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags, as we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers? 1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss. Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Go. 280! Last 2. Let's go, D. Listen.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. That's caught by Hollister. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and then hold down their production. But I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll run it with Bell. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40.
Good job, D.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
And they come off a tough loss last week. And what's their reward? A 2nd straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
I'm gonna run you over.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
I know you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Kill. Watch the twist, watch this. Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". All day, baby, all day.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Johnson was the intended receiver, and now it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Prescott. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They trail 3-0 after the INT last time led to a field goal, but now another fresh start here, 1st and 10.
Here we go. 47's the mic. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. A 1st down there on a pickup at 25.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Hey, kill! 47. 26.
A second down throw for Prescott. And a catch made by Johnson. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Watch the ship.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing in the line of scrimmage.
Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Eric Ebron, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go.
Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys do. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wentz complete. The tight end Kelsey. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. They'll try and run for it with Bell. Bell a first down and then some. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A first down run for Bell, not going to get much, maybe a couple, and it's second down. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop. Now Bell. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here we go. 480. 44 is the mic. It's a party now.
On 2nd and 9. Prescott, he gets this one to Johnson.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Bring it. There we go. Kill. 26.
Prescott from the gun. This is Johnson. He's got it. Good catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Prescott now, 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
44. Echo. Gun. Hey, watch the ball. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Yeah. 26.
And again, it's Prescott. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Leonard Fournette, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Boswell for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Here we go, back man. Waiting! You must be getting tired of seeing me. Check.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Working from the gun. Wentz. And it's complete to Kelsey. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First down pickup for the Jaguars. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman, and his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we? No. Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball, to understanding where the receiver is running his route.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
It's my boy.
2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Bell. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 2nd and 7, Wentz. This is Bell on the dump off. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Throwing on first is Wentz. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Wentz going to throw. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point splits the uprights, and it makes the score 21-10. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
Kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Let's go 47. Go. Mike is 26.
Prescott down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. The Steelers send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. So the punt rolls out of bounds, and they'll have pretty good field position here up near the 40-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they're tired or they get out of position or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He's going to field this at the 4. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. So we have reached halftime. All right, folks, eager to get this only back to the 20. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Kill. 47 is the mic. Is the mic. Check. 47's the mic, boys. 47. Check it.
Now Prescott. Flush to his right. He finds his man Johnson. And he is finally out of bounds all the way down at the 30. It's a big play there for the Steelers. And even 50 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
We're going to 54. Why?
Prescott yet again. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara.
You ain't doing nothing today.
It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. 47. 46.
They'll throw again. Prescott. And Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half. Just torn in shreds and being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Fournette. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
You can't block me. We're going to 53. Hayward. 47's the mic. 47's the mic. Bandit.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown.
Touchdown.
3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. And I think that's going to go down as no gain but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Again, it's Bell. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell.
You got it! You got it! You got it!
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes, we call them a hybrid, a combination.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
I always say the most important part of a punter is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, on the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll go again with Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Make it now 3 tackles for loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They were winners last week, defeating the Raiders, and right now they're in the driver's seat here as they start off 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
27.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that's complete to Marshall on the crossing route. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. A first down throw for Prescott. For Marshall, that's complete. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers on. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to a big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slow for that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slow them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Let's go!
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To throw, it's Wentz. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He's got his man. That's Wallace. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throwing his Wentz. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Now, Wentz again.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Wentz to throw again. Staying on his feet. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he is out of bounds here. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Again, it's Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Your trip is here, baby.
I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
They'll go for him with Bell. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars get a score closer. Wentz now to throw.
Oh, this is what I love about calling these games. 4th and goal. This is all about leverage, who wants it more, and who's going to get it done at the point of attack, the line of scrimmage.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Go, get out there, get out there.
Now Prescott going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Kill. Turn up. Sweat. Hey. Mike. 59. 26.
Prescott. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked by Darryl Worley. Johnson, the intended target. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
Wentz now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Watch tight end. Key the tight end.
Now Wentz. Open man, Taylor Gabriel.
There we go.
Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 23. Here's Wentz to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Able to get there and pick it. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to the locker room.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Right here.
On second down, Samuels. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing here, Prescott. He gets this one to Johnson. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 42 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Check.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
And there it is, the standard symbol. Taking a knee means that one team won, and the other one obviously lost the ball game. But now that team that won is 2-2. After the first 4 games, I think they're okay with a 2-2 start. Not overly happy, but at the same time, not depressed either.
You mentioned to me breaking down a season in quadrants, so the first quadrant is kind of a check, as you said, for okay. Not great, not bad.
Yeah, right now they're just holding serve. They look forward to their next 4. Maybe they can make a surge there.
Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Steelers, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis.